Hello YouTube, I'm Connor, and today we are going to take a look back at the iPhone 4. This device was released in 2010, and it was actually the last iPhone to ever be released by the late Steve Jobs. But it was the first iPhone to feature the beautiful Retina display and the all-glass design that Apple has since returned to on the latest generation of iPhones. With all of that in mind, let's take a look at what this device has to offer. Taking a look at the front of the device, there is a 3.5-inch Retina display, a standard home button without Touch ID, and a 0.3 megapixel front-facing camera capable of taking up to 480p 30 fps, seen here with its grainy, low-resolution quality, and poor exposure. On the back, the device is equipped with a 5 megapixel sensor capable of taking video up to 720p 30 fps, which also has a grainy and low resolution quality. That sensor is also paired with a single LED flash. All of the technology found on this device is heavily outdated, but that is to be expected on a device that is 8 years old. However, can you at least take half-decent photos with the iPhone 4? Let's find out. Looking at some photos taken on the iPhone 4, the rear camera is actually pretty good. Photos look nice and vivid, and the photo retains a high resolution. However, these shots were taken under perfect lighting circumstances. When we take a look at a rear shot in the dark, the camera fails to keep its nice looking photo due to the lack of power from the single LED flash. Also, the front-facing sensor is basically garbage. Every photo is grainy, and they all lack any kind of detail. Finally, video taken on this phone is terrible as well. Looking at the rear sensor, video is very low resolution and image stabilization is non-existent. And don't get me started on how terrible the video looks from the front-facing sensor. The design of the device is very similar to the latest generation iPhones, the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus as well as the 10, with their glass front and back. However, this does not enable the device to have wireless charging. It also has an aluminum band between the two glass panels, which contains a 30-pin DOT connector at the bottom, flanked by both a speaker and a microphone, as well as a volume rocker and a mute switch on the left, and a headphone jack and power button on the top. This device also predates 2013, so it does not feature a Touch ID sensor. Finally, this device was available in white and black. Internally, this device contains the single-core Apple A4 chip, clocked at 800 MHz. This was actually the first chip for the iPhone that was designed in-house by Apple. The processor is also equipped with 512 MB of RAM. In Geekbench 3, this device scores a 212. This score is extremely low, meaning the performance of the device is going to be extremely poor. The device also scores a 3641 in Antutu, which is also extremely low, indicating that the graphics performance is going to be non-existent in other applications. The storage performance on this device is also not good, as the read speeds for the device are 25.6 megabytes per second and the write speeds are 14.5 megabytes per second, which could also explain why applications seem to take forever to open. Finally, while my device features an anemic 8 GB of storage, the phone was also offered in 16 and 32 GB variants. Overall, I would say this device is not usable in 2018, as none of the latest apps are compatible with the iPhone 4. Also, this device's small screen and poor camera quality make it even less of a value to have. But this device runs iOS 7, so it still has a lot of useful features such as iMessage and FaceTime built in. However, this is a watered-down version of iOS 7, meaning visual designs such as transparency and parallax, as well as features such as panorama mode, AirPlay mirroring, Siri, and AirDrop aren't available. But this device does still have some retaining qualities to it. You can use it perfectly fine as a music player or run outdated versions of apps that still work, such as YouTube or Minecraft. But don't expect the performance out of these apps to be anywhere near the performance of newer devices. All in all, I would not recommend this device to anyone unless they were specifically looking for an iPhone 4 to add to their collection, just like I did. There's no real reason to have this phone anymore, but for $29 it was a cheap addition to my ever-growing iPhone collection. Anyways, that's gonna do it for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, it helps me out a lot if you just take a second to hit the thumbs up. And if you want to see more content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and follow me on Twitter to get all of the latest updates on all of my future videos.